I was praying for God's direction for our life, for our ministry. Where do you want us to go? All of these questions that, okay, if this is you and this is really what you're saying, where do you want me to go? How do I reach out to find that? Are you going to bring it to me? Is it going to be brought to my attention? Am I to search for it? Am I to look for it? And I begin to seek the face of God and begin to pray. And Genesis 22 gives us that picture, because Abraham is here in a place that God's going to allow a test and a trial and temptation to come against him, and he's going to test him in his faith in how much he's got confidence in the one that he says that he's serving. And so this trial comes his way. If you think it wasn't a trial, you answer when God wants you to sacrifice yours. This was a trial. This was a test. The temptation was to do my thing instead of God's thing. But he begins to teach him. You just heard me read it to you. He says, I'm going to show you a place. I'm going to tell you about a place. And after he had journeyed 3 days, he seen the place afar off. There was a physical place that God was moving Abraham to come in contact with him. Aren't you glad that Jesus took our place? So much to preach here. But he said, you've got to know the place. I believe that Abraham could have walked out back and built an altar, and he probably would have killed his son. You say, well, he was obeying the voice of God. No, he wasn't. He was to go to a certain place to offer his son. Don't get technical with God. Be open and honest with God. You try to hold him to the letter, I assure you, he can hold you to the letter. Oh, come on, let's just look at Moses. But Lord, I'm not eloquent of speech. You go ahead and be technical. Go ahead and give God all the reasons that you can or can't. But would you just, okay, God, I want to obey your voice. The blessing came last. It wasn't a blessing when God said, I want you to take your boy up on the hill and kill him. Offer him as a burnt sacrifice. That wasn't no blessing. It wasn't a blessing traveling 3 days with that on your mind. It wasn't a blessing to climb the hill. It wasn't a blessing to grab the knife. But all the blessing came because he was obeying the voice of God.